Well, here's a nice one. With my rough fingers. When the rapture comes, the good-looking girls in Tim Hortons will talk to me. Sit down at my table, ask polite, intelligent questions about the book I am reading. Sensing the exquisite loneliness of my soul, they will unbutton their blouses. Let me admire the milk-white beauty of their breasts. Let me caress with my rough fingers their golden feathered wings. A thing of beauty. When the rapture comes, grab my foot, and we'll take a trip to Lilliput, where we'll be big because the people are small, and God himself is only 2 feet tall. When the rapture comes, grab my schnoz, and we'll take a trip to the land of Oz, where the wicked witch is not very scary, and the wizard himself is ordinary. When the rapture comes, grab my hand, and we'll take a trip to Wonderland, where there's no stain on the white rabbit's crotch, and time has stopped on the Mad Hatter's watch. When the rapture comes, grab my wrist, and we'll take a trip to the land of myths, where Odysseus yearns for wife and home, and Penelope's yarn spins Homer's poem. When the rapture comes, grab my cock, and we'll take a trip to the land of schlock, where once in a while, by mostly luck, a thing of beauty can be snuck. And now something that sort of really bend your mind a little bit, if I can find it. Here we go. It's called How to Swallow a Poet. When the rapture comes, you will finally be able to swallow a poet. It is easier than you think, and probably more pleasurable. We begin, of course, with the head. A poet's head is much smaller than you'd expect. That impression of immense size is mostly because of the hair. That is why it is always advisable to shave the head. Also, this would be a good time to remove any unnecessary impediments, things such as glasses, earrings, nose rings, etc., as these may get caught in the larynx and cause indigestion. Then, slacken your jaw and simply let it unhinge. With the poet lying on his back, pull him toward you across the table and place that head in your mouth. Then press your tongue against your upper palate and crush the skull. Fortunately, most poets are soft-headed, so the brains quickly run out. Take time to savor the juices. De gustibus non est disputandum, but I've always found the brains of the great 19th century romantics a little too sweet. I prefer the best of the 20th century poets. Perhaps the sight of millions of World War dead is what gives their brains that bitter edge. But on to the shoulders. You will notice that these are sloped and generally undeveloped. After all, we are eating poets here, not wrestlers. However, if the shoulders present a problem, disjoint the arms and save them for later. Once you've swallowed the shoulders, the rest, as they say, is a piece of cake. The ribs form a most convenient bolus. The abdomen goes down like an oyster. The buttocks are always a nice, chewy treat. It's the genitals which can be quite unpredictable. They can add a dash of seaweed flavoring, especially if your poet was female and young. But if he or she was an older poet, my advice would be to spit that bit into your napkin, which leaves the legs. I like to disjoint them at the hips and eat them separately. Cross thigh bones, by the way, is the sign to your waiter that your meal is finished. I personally avoid the feat, but I've seen plenty of people sucking on a poet's toes who say they are delicious. Let's see, how much time have I got left, Patrick? 2? 2? Can't see it. Dos? Okay, dos. Dos poemas. See? No? Let's see. Well,